Hello, and welcome to a new episode of Forester Stories. Today we're talking about one of the only athletic clubs on campus, the Ultimate Frisbee Club. Stay tuned.
Let's go, here we go guys, it's gonna be great. All right, let's do this.
Huntington University's studio production class presents
Forester Stories, where we get in touch with the roots of our community.
one branch at a time.
I'm your host, McKenna Parks, and today I'm sitting down with Nick Kight, the head coach of the club. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so just to start things off, for those people that may not know what Ultimate Frisbee is, how would you describe Ultimate Frisbee?
Yeah, so first I would definitely help explain that there's a difference of ultimate and disc golf. I think some folks kind of get the two confused, and ultimate frisbee is a team sport. Basically, you have at least 7 on the field at all times. I usually recommend, if you can have a group of about 15 on your team, and it's very similar because there's a lot of cardio involved. So you want to make sure that you have plenty of subs, and it's very kind of similar to soccer, except you don't use your feet, use your hands, and as you catch the frisbee from one teammate to the next, you're advancing it together as a team, and you're trying to reach your team's end zone, basically. So a lot of running involved, reading the disc, communicating with your teammates, if you're, incorporating some plays in there too. So it's actually a bit more technical than I think some people kind of realize. There's kind of the more casual pickup games that some people play. There's tournaments that teams can go to as well. And it's a pretty big following out there now in the sport, so it's growing pretty quickly.
Nice. Sounds awesome. So how does the game work? If you had to give me a brief rule book, what are some of the basic rules when it comes to the game?
Yeah. So as I mentioned, you have 7 on the field at one time per team, and there's a couple different positions. So you have handlers who are kind of like your quarterbacks in football. They're the ones who are typically most comfortable with the frisbee, and they are the ones who are kind of looking up the field at their cutters and trying to advance it up the field as quickly and efficiently as you possibly can. So, basically, if the disc touches the ground ever, it's a turnover. So, if you're the one who throws it and your teammate drops it, then now you're on defense. And then if the other team does the same thing after they pick up the disc, then you go back to offense. So it's a lot of back and forth a little bit, hopefully not too much, so that way, if the team that can hold on to the disc well and can advance it from one person to the next, then usually you have some success there. You have till the stall count of 10, so you guard, just like most other sports, like basketball. You'll go up and you'll guard someone else for about 10 stall counts, and you say that out loud, and if you get to 10, basically, it's a turnover. But you're just trying to score in your end zone that you have there in the direction that you're heading. Yeah, I would say those are kind of the main rules of Ultimate in a sense. It's self-officiated. So that's kind of a unique aspect of the sport. There aren't necessarily referees or anything like that. So it's very much spirit of the game. Both teams, agreeing if there's ever fouls called or things like that. So yeah.
Nice. So how did this club get started at Huntington?
So it actually existed for a while, for a couple years. Back in when I was a student here from 2008 to 2012, it was around, and it had been around a little bit before then as well. So I think after I had graduated, I heard it had kind of lasted for a little bit longer, but then it sounds like it had maybe just faded there over time. And when I came back and started working here at the university, it was such a highlight of my own experience here at Huntington. Got to know some great people and really wanted to make sure that we could provide some sort of opportunity for students to get involved in the sport again. So I found another student on campus who loves Ultimate as much as I do, and together we kind of got the club back up on its feet.
That's so awesome. All right, so we're going to go ahead and go to a commercial. Stay tuned. We are going to have more information about how to join the club and also more about Nick Kight's position, so stay with us. talking Ultimate Frisbee with Nick Kight. All right, so the next thing, so are you the original founder of this club then?
I am
Or
not.
like, how did you get involved in this club?
Yeah, not the original founder. Like I said, way back, probably pre-2008, before I got here as a student, it had existed. I think a RD at the time and a couple other upperclassmen had started the club officially. But I like to think that we're the refounders since we
Okay,
got it back
yeah.
up on its feet and resurrected it. So,
Yeah, for sure. So what makes you like the position of the coach? Like, have you been playing Ultimate Frisbee for a long time?
Yeah, probably half my life actually. So when I was 15, went to cross country camp, and that was the first time I had ever been introduced to Ultimate Frisbee. It was just kind of one of the things that we did for fun as a team. And when I got to my sophomore year of high school, actually, so a friend of mine in school, he kind of started this group who basically on Saturday nights, they could go to this church there in our town, and we just played pickup pretty much every Saturday night, and then afterwards we'd either go to like Steak and Shake or Starbucks, and so that was always a lot of fun. And basically I've just played ever since, and was really excited that Huntington had a club team, so I wanted to get involved in that when I was a student.
Yeah, that's so awesome. That's so fun. So does the team travel to games, or do they mostly stay on campus? Like, what does the tournament setting look like?
Yeah, typically when we go to tournaments, so usually they're on Saturdays, and it can start as early as like 9 or 10, and then we might finish up around like 4 or 5.
Nice.
We
Wow.
play probably about 3 to 5 games maybe a Saturday, so again, you want to take a lot of people typically, because 5 games in a row,
Yeah.
that's quite a bit on the body. But we'll play against other schools that might have teams, different places might host. Each school kind of has to find their own location. We usually sometimes might do it here on our intramural field, or we'll go over to the middle school here in town. They've got quite a big field space over there. So yeah,
Nice.
we'll just invite any other teams that are interested and available, and we'll just kind of put together a tournament bracket.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was like a whole day thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's so crazy. So, like, what are some of the values of the club? Like, obviously, you probably don't, it isn't like win, 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 So, what are some of the values that you have, like, as a team?
Yeah, I am a bit of a competitive person, so sometimes my competitive spirit might come out a little bit, and the students would definitely attest to that. But we do really try to make sure that it's a community of people who just enjoy the sport and who enjoy each other. Wanting to make sure that as the club continues to hopefully grow and evolve, that just people who enjoy being with each other, playing the sport, who do it in a way that honors God, and then just kind of getting together outside of practices and just really investing in each other's lives a little bit. So
sure.
I know that was really something that I got to know my teammates when I was here, and we would do stuff outside of Ultimate.
Yeah.
So that was just something that I think when you do that and you carry it in, then like into practices, it just kind of helps you bond even
Yeah.
stronger as teammates.
Absolutely. Just really, really briefly, I know that they wanted to touch on, for someone that is interested in joining, what would be the first steps in wanting to join the Ultimate Frisbee Club?
Yeah, basically just let myself know, or Rose Thomas is our current club president here at Huntington. So either one of us through email. My email is nkite@huntington.edu, and hers I think is thomasr@huntington.edu. So that would be probably the best way to reach out and just let us know if there's an interest, and we can kind of explain practice schedules and kind of what we do each semester and stuff.
Cool. Sounds good. Well, that's all the time we have. Thank you, Nick, for your insight again. Check us out on YouTube and Facebook for more Forester stories, and we'll see you next week.